Princess Cruise Line crashed their cruise ship this morning over in Seattle. And despite having a massive hole in the side of the Ruby Princess, they're loading passengers like they're about to leave on a 10-night cruise. I've got your update on this crazy cruise ship crash. Plus, Royal Caribbean, are they looking to raise prices on you yet again? Let's roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. I'm your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Well, there's some exciting cruise news coming in from the West Coast as I woke up to a story breaking of the Ruby Princess colliding with a pier in San Francisco, specifically Pier 27. Now, Ruby Princess is a Crown class of ship launched back in 2008. She can carry over 3,100 passengers. The ship was returning from a 10-night Alaskan cruise in the port of San Francisco, which if you've ever been to San Francisco, it gives Chicago a run for its money on the name Windy City. And the incident in question here occurred this morning in the early hours around 6:05 a.m. local time as Ruby Princess prepared to dock for debarkation. For their part, Princess Cruise Line describes this crash as unexpected contact. And a full assessment of the Ruby Princess occurred following the unexpected contact between the ship and the shore. Currently, the most visible damage is above the waterline in the aft port side of the ship. The little corner back there has, well, a big old dinghy with a hole in it, and other social media users who had the chance to see Ruby Princess today have also posted additional photos showing damage down the side of the ship and to the dock as well. Now, whether or not the ship is 100% seaworthy, well, that's for the engineers to decide. I am not one of those. However, for their part, Princess Cruise Line has decided they're going to go ahead and load passengers on as if they're going to set sail at 4 p.m. Eastern Time today, like they originally planned. And whether or not the ship does get released to sail will be up to the U.S. Coast Guard and their team of engineers, along with engineers from Princess Cruise Line, who are on scene right now determining the full extent of the damage to this ship, as well as whether or not any critical repairs will need to be made before the ship leaves, or if they're able to safely cruise and do those repairs either while it's underway or as they stop in port as they sail along. It's also important to note here that no guests or crew members were injured during this collision, and apparently none of the systems of the ship have been damaged either. And while the investigation is currently underway, it's going to be some time until we really find out exactly what went wrong. As a matter of fact, if the NTSB gets involved, it could be a year or more until we have any idea. Though early reports indicate that the ship's pilot, who is that person that comes on board as the ship is coming into harbor, attempted docking at maximum allowable conditions for the Ruby Princess. And those are current conditions. We were talking about current in the sea, not currently conditioned, if you know what I'm talking about. Other factors that could have contributed to this include strong winds, poor visibility, and shifting currents. In addition to the Ruby Princess sustaining damage, the dock itself at Pier 27 will indeed also require some repairs. You can see here it's smacked and cracked, just as you would imagine when a giant multi-100,000-ton cruise ship comes barreling down on your little corner of the world. And more often than not, these type of collisions, well, they come down to human error, whether it be poor communication or the lack of updated marine charts or other information on a ship that's out of date or not properly cared for. Most of the time, these incidents are fully preventable. However, this investigation shakes out in the end, we will find out. And now that passengers have begun making their way off of the cruise ship, they've began talking to media outlets, and we're starting to hear the stories of exactly how they experienced this on board Ruby Princess at the time of the impact. Now, some passengers report not feeling a thing, having no idea they even hit, while others say it felt like they were going through a 1 or 2 magnitude earthquake. You know, I've never been through that. I don't know how a magnitude earthquake feels. I'm thinking we're just going to chalk it up to where these people were located on the ship at the time of impact. There's so many variables here. But the one outstanding factor that came from this is every single person on board the Ruby Princess that shopped in the Midships Amazon store came away from this completely unscathed, without any injuries, with a fun story to tell and some amazing products from that Amazon store. In there, you can find everything I take with me every single time I cruise. Things like my OnlyFan, luggage tag protectors, all kinds of things that will make your cruise amazing. Check it out. There's a link in the description down below. Thanks for supporting my channel, and let me know what you think of some of those custom t-shirts that I make in there. Now, let's keep the cruise news moving. Just the other day, I reported on Celebrity Cruise Line raising gratuities for the second time within a calendar year. And that's causing a lot of eyebrows to raise across the cruise industry, as the line is owned and operated by the Royal Caribbean Group. Which makes me wonder, is this the open door that other cruise lines are looking for to also raise their prices? And the first cruise line that you would think would consider doing this, aside from Royal, is Norwegian, of course. They're always looking for an excuse to raise their rates. But let's be frank here. The Royal Caribbean Group has now shown that they're willing to raise prices on Celebrity Cruise Lines, which means it's only a matter of time until they're going to show that they're willing to raise prices on Royal Caribbean as well. And while the answer remains to be seen, it wouldn't be the first time in recent history that when one line publicly says, hey, we're going to raise prices, others quickly follow suit with an increase of their own. What happened to the good old days of people trying to offer more for less money and beat their competition? If you made it this far into today's episode, please make sure you get subscribed to the channel, as we are dangerously close to 20,000 subscribers, and you could be number 20K. While you're down there hitting subscribe, make sure you leave a big thumbs up on this video. It's the only way to tell me that you hope your next cruise doesn't crash into the dock like the Ruby Princess. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today, and until next time, we'll see ya on the Midships. You know, it's actually kind of ironic that the first thing I read about this morning was a princess ship crashing, because just yesterday I picked up a new game for my computer. Yes, I'm a nerd. It's a cruise ship driving simulator, of course. Why wouldn't it be? And within the first 2 minutes of driving my very own cruise ship, well, old Captain Corey ended up doing this. I wonder if any cruise lines are hiring. It looks like I'd make the cut over at Princess. Bazinga. La 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 la.